I met you in the summer.
400 metres to go. Zinista giving a side. Leads a length and a half on Centalula. Puccini's out after them. We're going to get has arrived on the scene quickly. And Bayron looking to run on. Out wide, Ponderosa missed many chances. We're going to get made the lead. Graphic is sneaking through. Here's Soriano coming after them with Bayron. Soriano swept to the lead for Rory Hutchings. Shut the gate in the Zabeel Classic. Soriano gets her Group 1 in brilliant fashion. She deserves this. Her Group 1, Soriano. Bridesmaid on so many occasions in the big one, and an absolutely ecstatic Rory Hutchings for Team Rogerson.
The Group 1 Zabeel Classic there on Boxing Day, taken out by Soriano, prepared at Tui Karamea by Graham and Debbie Rogerson, and ridden by Rory Hutchings, who's been kind enough to join us. Congratulations, a Group 1 win and a massive thrill, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you, DA. We've been trying for a while to win this Group 1 for her, and she's come so close so many times. It was a big thrill and a big relief to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, as George said in the commentary there, she really deserved that, didn't she?
Yeah, she did for sure. I'm not sure how many Group 1 placings she had, but it was quite a number leading into this, and she always tries her harder and just hasn't been able to quite get there before Boxing Day.
And you've weaved a path too. You've had to come from a fair way back.
Yeah, we did. The race didn't really go to plan. She didn't begin that well, and it took a while for her to get into stride. But when she grabbed the bridle, probably about the 500-600 metre mark, and weaved her way through, she was always going to be a contender.
Were you confident on the corner of her running into it and winning the race, or not?
Not really. I thought we'd run on for a nice third, fourth. When she got out into the clear halfway down and really changed legs and let down, I thought we might be able to get there.
She did really sprint, didn't she? As you say, when she changed legs, she really let go, and she was strong to the line.
She was. That's probably the best she's let down in her career. I said in the lead-up at Te Rapa, she really let down, but she's just run short. And she had that explosive turn of foot on Boxing Day.
It's been, you've been riding for 3.5 years now, 4 years, and that's your first Group 1. You chose a good time to do it at headquarters in a weight for age Zabeel Classic. It's a beauty.
Yeah, it was...
You're pretty happy about it? Is she your favourite horse?
She is now.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, well, for Graham and Debbie, Denise Howe, probably couldn't come any better.
Yeah. I was going to say, in Denise's colours, she's like the camp mother, isn't she, at Rogerson's? So.
Yeah, she is. Probably without her, would be a bit lost and have a few bills to pay, I'd say.
What about after the race, Roger? He refuses to give you a rap, doesn't he? He says, "Oh, Rory, you know, he had a lot of luck, you know."
Yeah, he is
he's
your
all
toughest
right.
critic, but...
oh, geez, you've gone to a new level, haven't you, since being there? He looked after you.
He has, for sure. I can't thank him enough for what he's done to me. He's really turned me around and given me the best opportunity.
And confidence is a wonderful thing in this industry as well, and a Group 1 win like that, as Paul said on Boxing Day, big crowd, big race, Zabeel Classic weight for age, it just must take those confidence levels to a new high as well.
Yeah, it does. Look, to be fair, I was going okay leading into it without flying, and we got that win there, and after that I was just riding with a lot more confidence, and yeah, things really started to feel right again.
Because you went into New Year's Day riding a pretty good horse in the railway, obviously Who's Your Master, another back runner, but always one that was going to hit the line strongly. Almost 2 Group 1s in the space of a week. That would have been unbelievable. Yeah,
it would have been perfect, wouldn't it? We only went down by a nose, and to the horse's credit, he tried hard. We came from a long way back, and a very slowly run railway, and he really tried hard.
Did you think you were in trouble back there when they were going so slow?
I did, because look, there was a lot of trouble happening in front of me. Pinzara was in all sorts of whole race, and I didn't really have anything to take me into the race. Like, Ryan Mark was out wide, but he wasn't making up a lot of lengths quick.
He didn't take you into the race, did he?
No. Not as much as you'd think he would.
No, for sure. Geez, I tell you, the trepidation was unlucky, wasn't she? She made up massive amounts of ground on the inside. She'd be very, very competitive in the Telegraph.
He's got massive, hasn't he, Who's Your Master? He really has gone enormous, and he'll head to the Telegraph, I suppose?
Yeah, all plans are heading to the Telegraph, and obviously it's a little bit stronger field, a couple of horses there bounding and that, but if he puts up a performance like that, we should be right there.
It's good that you can have an association with Who's Your Master with it, Lance O'Sullivan and Andrew Scott. That's where you started your apprenticeship in Matamata, yeah?
Yeah, started there, and look, probably a little bit young in that, made some decisions probably shouldn't have, but we've all moved on now and we get on great. Obviously riding a Group 1 horse for them is, yeah, I can't thank them enough.
No, that's good.
But that's a sign of the maturity that you talk of, that you've gone to with Graham and Debbie and Denise and all of those influences being positive around you. You're able to build those bridges again and get on with life.
Yeah, definitely.
You were a little bit unruly, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
He's not Robinson Crusoe there.
No, hey, I still am. That's my. But he's grown up. I haven't. I remember Rory was riding work with me one day. We were walking off the track, and I said to Rory, I said, mate, James was about to come out of his time, and I said to Rory, I said, you could be the next James McDonald if you do things right. I said, you've got a great seat on a horse. You're very natural. You just got to get your head right, and yeah. But he didn't take my advice. But then obviously you went to Rogers, and now
but that's that maturity
away.
that you're now showing with all those people that have got you back to that level, which is great, isn't it?
Exactly. And look, at that time I was only 15, 16, straight out of school, still learning life, and like I said, mature now, and yeah, just making those right decisions.
Yeah.
Obviously based at Rogerson's, but you've got a good association with Andrew Scott and Lance O'Sullivan, but also Tony Pike as well. LA Eagles, a horse that must be one of your favourites. I think you've won 4 from 4 on him now.
Yeah, that's correct, DA. Look, when I first got on him, he had a few issues, obviously, that mishap at Te Rapa where he ended up getting injured from, and he's only just starting to come right now.
Up to 5 from 10, so, and it looks like he's got a whole heap more to come.
He does. Look, he's still a big baby and still doing a few things wrong. That win the other day, we drew 1 and yeah, pressed forward. I didn't want him to over-race, and he was good. He dropped the bridle, and he's just, even himself, he's maturing.
It was the winning of the race, wasn't it? Like it was a smart move by Pike and yourself. You know, we've drawn barrier 1. We've got 4 kilos on Kawi. He's drawn out the car park, jump lead, and he's got a. You know your horse is going to run home in 34, and he's 34 and a half, and Kawi's got to run 33 and a half to beat him. Well, he's just not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, definitely. And look, Pikey said to me, he said, if you're in front, I'm not too worried. I'll leave it up to you. And I thought if we get boxed in on the fence, this is the first time I drew a gate on this horse. I thought if we get boxed in on the fence, he's just going to pull his head off.
Yeah.
So I sent him to the front, and he dropped the bridle straight away.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful.
But he's still a work in progress, as you said. He's just getting there mentally. You've got to remember, I think this is the horse that's been well documented. They turned down 700,000 or something ridiculous for before he'd raced. So he's always had that latent ability. And gee whiz, when that penalty finally drops, Rory, he's going to be something special.
He is. I think he'll go right to the top class. You know, he's putting horses away like Cowie in these sort of races, and that's still him not at his best.
What will be his optimum trip? Will he be a miler?
In future, I think he will. Now he probably still fires himself up a little bit. That'll just take a few more runs for him to get to the mile.
What were your thoughts on Cowie?
Look, I thought he was asked to do the impossible and went close to doing it. I thought it was a fantastic run. First time to Ellerslie. Rory's dominated the race.
He was outstanding.
He's a very, very good racer.
He was outstanding.
Yeah.
I hand clocked him numerous times at home for his last 600, and he ran around about 33 and a half. So, you know, LA Eagles come home in 34.77.
But you were quite right when you pointed out that if Rory can come home in 34 and a half off the front, the other horse has to come home in 33 something.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Well, it's anatomically going to be impossible.
That's right.
You know?
All he had to do was be 2 links in front of Kawi throughout the race, and he was never going to beat you.
I just want to go back to Boxing Day just briefly. 8 Carat and the win of Savoia here, beating the then unbeaten Sadaj. What was your take on this, Butch?
Well, I suppose time's shown that this is a really good form race because Savoia comes out and wins the New Zealand Bloodstock Royal Stakes. Well on the last day as well. Sadaj, she's going to be suspect at the mile on this. She hadn't raced for a long time though. I thought she fought very well to the line. I think the form will stack up well.
Oh, for sure. First 2 fillies are obviously, Savoia's obviously gone on and won, but Sadaj is a very good filly, and like Butch said, she Hadn't been in the races for a little while, and she'd have improvement in her, and she was tough. I thought she was coming back on the other filly on the line. And
Yeah.
What about Tavi?
She's a little bit disappointing, I thought, for mine, but I think Rogers put the blinkers on, and Vinny said go with the blinkers, so that might work the oracle.
I think Sadaj will be much better at Trentham. I think the mile should be okay there. I suppose I was trying to say that the mile was going to find her out. I thought she hadn't raced for such a long time. She missed that race in the Levin Classic.
Yeah.
The Wellington at Levin, that day the race meeting was called off, and that's probably counted against her. He's trialled her, but it's not like a race, is it?
No, exactly.
Speaking of Wellington, how good's Natuzi going to be going back there after the win in the Newmarket with the big weight? This was enormous.
Yeah, this was good. He's a good horse.
Something's got to be said of Paul Richards. Magnificent training effort, isn't it?
Yep.
His first runner up there in the North Island from Biley Park, is it?
Yes, he's at Biley Park.
Yeah. So.
What about the ride though, Chris Johnson? When he's good like this, he's just phenomenal, isn't he? He picked the path through them, and congratulations to Paul Richards as well, on the sense that a few others would have done that and then thought, hey, we should probably have a crack at the railway. And don't worry, I asked him the question from a Auckland Racing Club perspective. I said, well, hang on, you'll have to have a crack at the railway. No. And he took the horse out the next day, withdrew it, so that there was no temptation.
Yeah, clearly he's an astute horseman.
Yeah.
He'll do well up here. Good on him.
$8 chance in the Telegraph. I thought that wasn't bad shopping.
And he loves Trentham. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the highlight of the Christmas and New Year racing. What took your eye most of all, Butch?
The highlight for me was 5 mils of rain on New Year's Eve. Look, I used 3 weather maps. They all said it was going to rain. We made a decision not to irrigate. It was based on the forecast. They said it was going to rain between 10 o'clock at night and 6 o'clock in the morning. They said somewhere between 5 and 10 mils. We ended up getting 5 mils, and I think the track was pretty damn good on New Year's Day. It was firm enough the middle day, but Boxing Day and New Year's Day, my reports from the jockeys were that it was very good. Look, if it hadn't have rained, it would have been too firm on New Year's Day, but if we'd irrigated and then got the rain and produced a dead 6 track, people would have been screaming that we're in the middle of summer and you shouldn't be producing tracks like that. It's a fine line you walk, and getting that rain was a massive highlight for me, I can assure you.
And what about your highlight, Twiggy, from the last 10 days?
My highlight was Perfect Fit, horse at Taupo of King Kelso's. Pikey had a runner in it, Lauder, was
Lauder,
it? Yeah, who dominated the betting, and this filly, she's by Lucid City out of fair form, it's come from last. Dead set given these two Windburn. Like, that is impressive at 10 to 1. Kenny told no one. He was probably in a cranky mood. He wouldn't have been talking. And it's dead set bolted in.
How's it paid $10?
Well,
to be
that's
fair.
what I just said.
That's just
Ken wouldn't have been talking for a week or something. He gets cranky. Very cranky.
We'll leave it there.
We're good mates though, Kenny. We're good mates from you,
She's
Kenny.
a Group 1 filly, isn't she?
What? Oh, who?
Well, she'll run in the Group 1 race.
All right, well, here we go.
Perfect Fit.
Okay.
She'll run in Group 1 races.
All right, write that down.
Okay, Rory.
Write that
Won't
down.
she?
I don't know.
We'll leave them to bicker away.
You don't normally label. You always
Rory,
say
your
this is a good
highlight
horse.
for the Christmas.
You never tell me how
Obviously,
good they're gonna
Soriano.
She'll run
Obviously, Soriano. Yeah, it was the Christmas present we wanted, and yeah, we got it.
So what have the boys learnt in the last 10 days or so, Butch?
I've learnt that it's great to have Tony Lee back calling races.
Got down to the 300 metres now, and Bright Life with a very good turn of foot raced up and hit the lead. Raja Brook fights on. High Tensile from a long way back is starting to run on. It is Bright Life. Raja Brook is starting to niggle away it over on the inside, and then High Tensile, but Bright Life too good, and Bright Life the prize. Raja Brook is...
Tony back at the Selangor Turf Club on a 1-year contract. He's a rare talent behind the microphone, something we've missed in New Zealand, and I think it's great that he's back doing what he's good at.
And Twig, what have you learnt over the last 10 days?
Yeah, I've learnt that Waikato Stud lost their flagship stallion in O'Reilly. He was probably getting better and better with age, and there he is, a magnificent animal. And he was 21 years old, and by written tycoon out of Courtsa, and they found him in the paddock on the morning, and unfortunately he died from a heart attack, I believe. And he had 700 individual winners, and 12 of them at Group 1 level. He himself won the Bayer Classic, and he won the Telegraph as a 3-year-old. Just a magnificent race. Silent Achiever's one of his many Group 1 winners. She's a 4-time Group 1 winner. Shamrock, Alamosa and Sacred Falls now, who who will live in his box, I believe. He's going to, when he takes over the duties, he's going to step into O'Reilly's box, so he's got some big shoes to fill. Isn't it great that they've been able to secure Sacred Falls to take over from O'Reilly with his unfortunate demise? I think it's fantastic that that succession planning was in place. Yeah, I guess now the big question is with Gary and Mark, do we race him? Like, he's in pre-training now. I know he did his first bit of 3/4 pace at Pikey's the other morning, and do they carry on with him and send him back to Chris for another crack at a Don Cup? What, you know, it's a big risk, isn't it? Or does he stay home now and go straight in the box and start getting the job done?
Get ready for the spring of the year.
Oh, it's a good time of year.
He will certainly be missed, all right, O'Reilly. Rory, thanks for coming in. Again, congratulations on your first Group 1, and let's hope there's many more to come.
Yeah, thank you, Dio. It's great being here.
All right, Rory Hutchings with us as a guest here on Weigh In. We'll get Butch a lozenge, and as we go to the break, this is O'Reilly winning the Telegraph Handicap. We're back with more in a moment.
Jazzac the inside, wider out then we've got Moonlight's Coburg is looking to clear a bit of traffic. La Rose Noir, the rider's getting a bit anxious. Kaylee's coming out after it with O'Reilly. Wider out Moonlight's Coburg, a Wise Lass getting up and behind him. He lets the brakes go. O'Reilly. O'Reilly's put a couple of lengths on them. Jazzac runs on with Moonlight's crisp and clear, but oh yeah, he's class all right. And O'Reilly wins the Telegraph. Second, I don't know, Classic, Royal, Jazzac and crisp and clear.
If you're looking to buy a share in a racehorse, you can't go past Go Racing. We're passionate about racing. Our horses are all hand-picked, our facility's second to none, and we work with the most dedicated trainers. Our horses compete in New Zealand, Australia and Singapore. We're very good at what we do, and we're proud of our results. We offer you the best chance of success. If you're interested in buying a share at a racehorse, call 0508 GO Racing. We're your best bet for success.
Protexin, the world's most advanced multi-strain probiotic, works by flooding the gut with billions of naturally occurring beneficial bacteria that are essential for intestinal good health. Using Protexin every day protects your valuable animals and birds.
Vespa's kicking again on the inside. O'Marilyn's running on and weigh in. Vespa in front at the 100 metres for riding shotgun. O'Marilyn and weigh in. Vespa and Mark Duplessis for John O'Benno in the Karaka Million. Second over, photos riding shotgun. O'Marilyn then weigh in.
Vespa winning last year's Karaka Million there at Ellerslie, which is a nice segue into the first hook of 2015. Butch.
Yeah, DA, look, disappointing 3 weeks out from the Karaka Million that we haven't got a market for New Zealand's richest race. New Zealand Bloodstock have a defined order of entry on their website where the top 30 or 40 horses are outlined. Clearly horses that trial have a Karaka Million mark against them. So there's not many races left for 2-year-olds to run in before the Karaka Million, and I just thought it would have been opportune to have a market so that people could bet into it. Yes, I suppose there's a couple of uncertainties around the Australian runners coming, or whether some horses will travel from down south, but equally when they frame a New Zealand Derby, TV3 New Zealand Derby market or a Oaks market a long way out, there's much uncertainty about horses coming as well. So, Stevie, what do you reckon?
Butch, and a lot of those points you make are valid. And look, this isn't the first time this has come up. It has come up a couple of times in the last few days. And, you know, we're always open to constructive criticism. And we've taken a lot on board in the last couple of seasons. Even of quick note, the Hot Holiday Jocks was one that was demanded by punters. We reacted and we opened over the Christmas New Year period. What I can say is that listening to those comments, we have all intention opening an early market, a futures market for the 2-year-old feature at the back end of this month, in the next couple of days. So that's the one to tick that box. To open a market in say 4 or 5 weeks prior to Christmas or New Year, without any nomination or withdrawal system, it does make it very difficult. We can try and nominate as many horses as we know, 4 or 5 weeks out, say at the early part of the season when you get the first 2-year-old stakes race running. We can quote as many as we can. Look, we don't mind getting touched up on horses that have no exposed form and end up winning a race like the Karaka Million. But on the flip side, with no withdrawal system in play, there could be a potential horse that wins an early 2-year-old stakes race and then 2 or 3 days later sits in a paddock injured, and we know no better, and neither does the punter in the street. And leaving that in the market for 4, 5, 6 weeks until it officially doesn't get taken out until final field acceptances is a little bit unfair on the general punter. And that's what it's all about. It's looking after the general punter here rather than the small minority that might have that information. And this day and age, a lot of the punters from when I've taken in this role into the TAB is that more form, more exposed form, more information into a betting product, the better. And I've seen that in the last season or so, relaying footage of racing replays and trial racing replays.
Stevie. Righto. I'm on your team as far as that goes. But going forward, I think, can we get a position where after the Barneswood Farm Eclipse Stakes on New Year's Day, the last stakes race of the season, can we get a position where very quickly after that there'll be a market for the Karaka Million? I agree with you a long way out, but I think after that group race on New Year's Day, if we can get a market pretty quickly after that, I think everyone will be happy.
Yeah, sure, Butch, and we'll be doing that from... look, I can promise a market to be open on Wednesday.
Great work.
And then for the seasons going past, we'll be opening it, hopefully not too far after the New Year's Day last feature 2-year-old race, which you touched on.
Good stuff. That'll be great.
Awesome. Thanks.
Cheers,
Steve Hunt with us from the sports desk. We'll catch you again next week. There was a 7-way tie too in that holiday jock.
7 what?
7-way tie, including any other rider.
So what was the winning number?
Well, there was 7 of them.
But how many wins?
It was 10, wasn't it?
Was it 10? Yeah.
But tell me, didn't Opie win 11? But because it, do they not count if it's a pickup ride? Is that right, or
no? If you rode a winner, you'd ride a winner.
No, you'd
sure.
ride a
That's
winner.
what I thought. I should ask Stephen. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Is Stevie still there?
No, I think we've
he's
lost
cool.
Stevie, and
We'll
we're
get back to you next
a
week
little
about
bit
that.
out of time too. Look, if you'd like to contact us, you can, again, via social media. We're on facebook.com/weigh-in-show and at weigh-in-show on Twitter and weigh-in at nzracingboard.co.nz. Good to be back, Butch, and your voice has made it through, which is great.
Yeah, I promise it'll be better next week.
All right, good to have you back, Twiggy, and let's bring on 2015.
Yeah, for sure. Look, some great racing coming up, and we'll have plenty to talk about in the weeks to come, for sure.
For sure.
All right, and many thanks to our other guests, Donna Logan and also Rory Hutchings. Until next week, bye for now.